when it comes to building high performing teams,
Mhm.
sales teams or whoever, what do you think? What are some best practices that you've seen work, for example, with SaaS businesses?
Yeah, great question. Building high-performing teams. It first starts with whoever is in that first position that's going to be helping to build that team.
Yeah.
First of all, do they have the right skill set? And when you're the founder that has to build that, you really have no choice but to be that person. But if you are the founder, let's just say, since we're talking about solopreneurship and all of that, if you are the founder, the biggest thing is maybe, well, it could be like a recruitment firm like ours, or it could be some sort of business coach or anything where they can really help you define what that
Mm.
hiring process is going to look like. They also help you define what we just talked about, like the culture. What kind of people are we trying to attract? How are we going to build this? I think the biggest mistake that we make sometimes as, or we see solopreneurs make is they don't think about the culture because they think, I'll get to that when it's like I'm $1 million company and this or that. And they don't
Yeah.
understand that to get there, you need to have it now. Otherwise, you're going to have like what we call a rubber band effect. Like you're going to grow, snap right back down, grow, snap back
Yeah.
right back down. So that's super important. Just at least as a first step is having, if you don't have the experience, having somebody to guide you, obviously a trusted partner, to help you build that first step of like, okay, what is it going to look like to build that team? And
Mm.
then again, the first hire is usually crucial, because depending on what resources you have, what if you already have onboarding, then you can go and afford to hire somebody that you can train on to become really good. If you don't have onboarding, then you need to hire somebody that understands how to build the onboarding, how to be okay being in the chaos, because there's going to be a lot of chaotic moments,
Mm.
and how to hire somebody that understands the different hats. Like you have to be, you're our first, for example, hire. You need to be doing 5 roles at once sometimes, and it's just the way it is. So it's really understanding those first kind of couple key roles and then growing it from there, building the
And
right foundations.
yeah, and I would add to that, because if you're running solo, everything's in your head. So
Yeah.
you kind of have this constant roller coaster in your mind.
Yes.
But if you constantly track and write down the like what you're doing in each process, like each stage of the process,
Yeah.
that helps you kind of visualize and understand like what are you really doing.
Yeah.
So really tracking the different stages and writing everything down and like kind of having a structure, even though you're just by yourself, or you want to hire a person, let's say for example, into a sales position, you
Yeah.
have to be able to kind of explain and showcase what the process is. So starting to track those different stages is very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, this is where kind of we're joking around about AI being everywhere. That's
Hmm.
an amazing way of AI helping you, where you
Yeah,
can just dump your thoughts, even if it's like things like ChatGPT. You dump your thoughts in there and say, "Hey, give me an SOP for this, or give me a playbook for my thoughts," and I'll help you create that. So I think honestly, being an entrepreneur nowadays, in terms or a solopreneur nowadays, is way easier than any other time ever, just because you can have all these little programs that don't really cost as much.
mm.
Uh, it can help you, like give you a really big push forward versus back then without the help of AI or these programs, you'd have to do everything manually or even hire somebody to do it for you. So yeah,
Which is again another moving piece and very expensive to upkeep.
absolutely. Because now you have to also train that person unless you're paying them a ton of money.
That's that's right. Uh, on the flip side, what about mistakes? What mistakes leaders make when building teams?
Um, at least for me, I'll go back to, I guess it would be the opposite of what I just said in the sense of like,
Mm.
Um, they just hire somebody because they need them right now and they have no other choice without truly taking a step back to think, is that the right person that needs to come in here? And really like will take that company to the next level. And the thing about it too is like you don't always, what I've come to learn is that the same people that take you, let's just say from zero to like 100 to, or 100 to a million plus, it's not always going to be the same people. So especially if you're like a solopreneur trying to grow that,
Mm.
it's like, okay, who's the first, let's just say, set of people that are going to take me from, and of course, you don't start from zero, but let's just say from zero to a million. Once we hit that, then we're like, okay, because you don't hire somebody to take you from zero to like 20 million. It's just impossible.
That's true.
So that's how I look at it too, is like you think, and I've seen this in SaaS a lot, is like companies will get VC like funding, Series A or something like that, or even seed funding, and they will go and hire this like amazing Fortune 500 leader. They'll bring him in, and the leader does not know how to work on a small budget. They're gonna make marketing budgets of like 20 million plus, and you're like, I only have like 3 million. What am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
So it's understanding who you need in your team right now and the process that you're in before you get to the next level. And each level, I feel like, has to go that way.